footwork as well to get the ankles mobilized. So good morning if you're just jumping in on YouTube and Facebook. Welcome to our Wednesday morning session where we will focus on breathing, balancing and moving as the title of the class suggests. So come up and find a bit of space around you where you're not going to be disturbed for the next 30 minutes. And we're just going to start off in a little bit of a wider stance. So take your feet about shoulder and a bit width apart, dropping the pelvis a little bit and then just shifting side to side. So keeping that pelvis level, parallel to the ground. So I'm not dropping side to side like this. Spine is strong and upright here, and I'm just shifting side to side so I can feel the hips. And see if we can keep level. So I'm not coming up and down, just shifting side to side. So you're using the ground, you're pushing the ground away side to side. And then we can bring in that little bit of rotation through the spine, our knocking. And the pelvis is facing forwards. So we'll just watch that we're not rotating the pelvis forwards like this. You're just shifting side to side and you're feeling the hips, the legs moving in the hips, the femur bone moving in the hips. Spine stays tall. Breathing is easy. Tapping your back and your belly. Strong through the hips. And then slowing it down, slowing it down. Slowing it down. And then just walking the feet a little bit closer. And we'll do full body flow. So making sure that we don't force anything here or strain anything here. Just think of lengthening the muscles, encouraging the opening of the front of the body there. And then as we come down, reaching forwards, a little bit of bend in the knees, nice long spine, and then rolling down. And then bending the knees and pushing up. So you're using the floor to push up. Take this nice and slow. Encourage the lengthening of all the fascia. Breathing easy, not holding the breath, not straining. And a nice flowing movement. Open up the front of the body. And then this one, when you come to the bottom, just hang for a moment, just on a little bit of a soft knee. Just really relax the shoulders, the head. If at all you start to feel dizzy or uncomfortable, then slowly come back up, but just hanging for a moment. And here, we were just talking on Zoom, and Tom was mentioning breathing into the back. So in this position, just have an awareness of the lower back, the back of the ribs, and just feel the breath, just gently, nothing forced again, just breathing into the back of the body. And on each exhale, can you just let go a little bit more? Maybe you can get the hands on the ground. Again, we're not forcing anything here. And then just when you're ready, bending the knees, it's almost like you're going down into a little bit of a squat, so you can use the floor and the heels to push and roll up. Slowly, 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 slowly. And then just finish with a little bit of a stretch again, overhead. Encouraging the stretch through the front of the body, and then bringing the arms down to the side. Nice, walking the feet in. Let's do a little bit of balance and a little bit of foot mobilization. I will mirror you and balance on the right leg. So nice and stable on your right leg, just bringing your left leg forwards and deliberately circling the ankles slowly. So in one direction, really slow. Think of stretching all the fascia in the bottom of the foot, the top of the foot, spreading the toes. Also think of the calf muscle, the shin muscle. You can feel it all the way through that lower leg, maybe even to the thigh. Stretching out all of that fascia, all the ligaments and the tendons. So you're getting a double whammy here. You're working on that left foot and left ankle, but you're also balancing on that right side. Let's change directions if you haven't already done so. Keep it slow, steady. Yeah, and you can use your tigers if you need to balance a little bit there. Or the wall, or the door. Oh, there was a nice click in my ankle. Good, take a rest, have a little shake of that foot, and then just take a moment just to balance and see how it feels standing on that foot now. And then that side will become the stabilizing side, balance. Always lift tall as we balance too. And then circle. Keep it slow and smooth. Just breathing easy. Again, using your tigers if you need to use your tigers. Changing directions when you're ready. Good, and taking a rest there. And again, just stand for a moment, see how your feet feel there. Let's have a good shake, shaking out So now we're just shaking from the hip, freeing up that whole leg. Oh, rattling in my pocket there. And have a good shake on the other side. Good, and then take a rest. Standing tall. See how your feet feel, your legs feel now. Let's pop one hand on one hip. Let's do our teacup, so the other hand out to the side. We're leading with the hips, excuse me, so the hip leads, and then the upper body follows. Hips go back, arms go back, and the idea is to keep that palm facing upwards. So if you had a teacup on, you're holding a teacup in your hand, you wouldn't drop it or spill the tea. Everything comes from the hips. Movement starts from the hips, from the center. Nice and smooth, breathing easy. Let's do one more on this side. And then when you're ready, change sides. So again, hip leads. Big circles. Let's do one more. And take a rest. Have a little bit of a shake if you need a shake. A little bit of move around. And then we're going to do something similar to a yoga position, but we're going to put some movement through it. So take your feet a little bit wider apart. And then I'm going to mirror you. So I'm going to ask you to turn your left foot out to face that direction. And as your left foot is out to face that direction, your knee, watch that your knee is going with the foot, that it's not dropping in like this. So you might want to just bring that hip, not tucking the tailbone under, but just slightly bringing that hip so the tailbone is pointing towards the ground. And just bend the knee so you've got your knee over your ankle there. So we're not going too far forwards with that knee is just over the ankle. And then from that position, have the pelvis almost like facing the front. So the pelvis isn't facing the direction that we're going. The pelvis is more facing the front. So we really want to open up the hips here. And if you can, if you need to keep this back leg straight, just take that leg back a little bit and just rotate that foot in a little bit. And we need a little bit of space there. So we've got a nice solid base of support. The spine is literally here. It's not here, it's not back there. The spine is there. So you're just opening up the pelvis. Pelvis is facing predominantly in that direction. Knee is facing in that direction. You should feel nice space there in the hips. And then we're going to reach forwards with that hand, and we're going to reach back with that hand. So you've got forwards and back. Watch this back hand isn't dropping down, because that tends to happen. So just make sure that the back hand reaches forward, reaches shoulder height. And then we're going to straighten this front leg. So as you straighten that front leg, you bring your palms together and we're facing forwards. So this front leg is straight, palms together, facing forwards. And then when we bend the knee, we float the arms out. So watch that knee isn't going too far forwards. Also, what is quite a common thing that we do when we think of reaching forwards is we start to reach forwards with the upper body. So it's not reaching forwards with the upper body. You just float the arms out and you just drop down there. And then again, we push and straighten that front leg. Palms facing the front, squeeze together and float the arms out. And then we go, once now we've got this movement really nice, we just go into a nice flow with that movement. You're looking over that front hand as you float the arms out, looking back towards the camera as we come back here, squeeze there. So go into a flow, just visualize the Qigong flows that we do where there's no start, there's no stop. Don't think of it as an exercise or a stretch. And you may find with the breath, breathing out, and then breathing in when you come back to center. Don't worry too much if you just breathe naturally if that works for you at the minute, because we're just learning this movement again. Straightening that front leg when you come back. Let's do one more. And then when you're back to center here, just bring your feet so they're in line and facing forwards. Let's just do a couple of heart to sky. So breathing in and breathing out. Opening up the front of the spine here, extending the back of the spine. Let's do one more. And then take a rest. And we'll do the other side. So we'll talk it through, just break it down to get your position right. So you turn your foot out to face the wall that way. That knee goes with the foot. So just watch that that knee isn't dropping. I'll come to I can show you from the front. You want to watch that that knee isn't dropping in like that. So that knee is going with the foot. So foot out in that direction. Hips, it's almost like 45-ish degrees, but watch that we're not into this position. We haven't got the hips facing in that alignment. We want the hips open. And then we want to bend the knee so that that knee is over the ankle, so that we're not coming too far forward. Bend that knee so the knee is over the ankle. And then this is where you then work out the back leg position, because we want that back leg straight. We want that hip open so that we can straighten that leg, and then we can bend that leg, bend that knee, straighten and bend, so we can get that position there. Hips open. You might feel as if you're just very slightly tucking the tailbone under. It stops we getting into this position. But again, we're not forcing, we're not over tightening the glutes, but it's like you've got a little bit of a weight on that tailbone. So we're in that position there. Arms flow out. Watch this back arm doesn't sink down there. Now, as with the hips facing more forward, so the shoulders are facing more forward. So watch that we're not in this position. Arms are floating out. And then when you straighten this leg, this front leg, push up, you come back to center. You come back into that palms together position. And then you float the arms out as you bend the knee. And then float the arms back as you straighten. So bend, straighten. Remember, we're not holding a position, we're not stretching. So as soon as you hit the point there, you start to come back. It's not about forcing a stretch, overreaching. Should feel quite smooth. So looking forwards when the palms are together, looking over that front arm. And finding your rhythm. If you can breathe with the movement, that's great. If not, just breathe easy, light, soft in and out through the nose. But if you can breathe out as you expand there, and breathing in. Straightening that front leg as you come back. Let's do two more. Then coming back to center, bringing both feet facing the front, slight turn out there. Few hearts to sky again, opening up, breathing in and breathing out. And then just walking the feet back in and giving your legs a little bit of a shake out there. So it should feel quite nice and strengthening of the hips. We often think of hip flexors and tight hip flexors, so we feel we should be stretching here all the time. It's that strengthening as well that is so important. So strengthening the hips there, really nice. Little bit of a practice. Palm facing up, the other palm coming down the center, then we swap. So let's do that little bit of sort of like a windmilling. Breathing in there, breathing out. And then we'll swap sides. So palm facing up, other one comes down. And then pulling down the heavens. Expanding and breathing in, breathing out. Interlinking the thumbs, bringing the feet together. And just closing your eyes just for a moment, letting your body sway gently like bamboo in the wind. Taking now a calm, fuller breath in through the nose. Expanding into the body, opening your eyes at the top of that breath. Stepping out, just giving yourself a little bit of a brush down. Brushing the hands together. Head, back of the neck, down the body. Give your belly a rub. Excellent. Bit of a new movement there going on that we haven't. We might have done that a while back, but if it was a while back. It's good to just mix things up a bit, do some different things. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope that's got you going for a Wednesday morning, and I will see you next Monday for more of breathing work. And as always, if you've got any questions or if there's anything you want to add to these sessions, if there's anything you want to go over, just get in touch and let me know. Have a great rest of the week, have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you on Monday. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.